Hello everyone, and welcome back to your Health Corner. Dr. Marie Clark is here with you today, and I want to share something that could genuinely change the way you think about protecting your vision after 60. Not tomorrow, not next year, but starting from the very next meal you sit down to eat. Today, we are going to talk about the single most important vitamin your eyes depend on after the age of 60, and why the overwhelming majority of people, even those who believe they eat well, are simply not getting enough of it. But before we dive into that, let me ask you something. Did you know that by the time we reach 60, nearly half of us have already begun losing the structural integrity of the region of the eye responsible for our sharpest, most precise vision? And here is what makes this so dangerous. Most people feel absolutely nothing. No pain, no sudden change, no alarm bell ringing. The deterioration happens in silence, like water quietly eroding a stone over years. You do not feel it until one day you realize the text on the page is a little harder to read, the headlights at night seem a little harsher, and the faces of the people you love are just a little less sharp than they used to be. By the time those changes become noticeable, the underlying process has often been underway for years, sometimes decades. I want to ask you a small favor before we continue. Please take a moment and leave a comment below telling me where you are watching from and what your eyes mean to you. Is it watching your grandchildren grow up? Is it reading your favorite books? Is it watching the sunrise with a cup of coffee in your hands? I read every single comment, and understanding your stories helps me create content that truly serves this community we are building together. Now, let us get to the heart of today's discussion. There is a vitamin that your eyes rely on more than almost any other, and yet it is one of the most commonly deficient nutrients in adults over 60. I am talking about vitamin C. Yes, the same vitamin most people associate only with colds and immune support. But what I am about to tell you about vitamin C and your eyes may completely change your perspective. The clear fluid that fills the front chamber of your eye, the fluid that bathes and nourishes both your lens and your cornea, contains the highest concentration of vitamin C found anywhere in the entire human body. Not in your brain, not in your heart, not in your liver, but in your eye. And it is not just a little higher. The concentration of vitamin C inside this fluid can be up to 60 times greater than what circulates in your bloodstream. Let that sink in for a moment. Your body, in all its wisdom, has deliberately concentrated this one vitamin in the precise location where light first enters your visual system. That is not a coincidence. That is biology telling us something profoundly important. Every single time light enters your eye, whether from the sun overhead, the screen in front of you, or the lamp beside your bed, a tiny burst of oxidative stress is generated inside the eye. Think of it as a microscopic spark. Now imagine those sparks happening thousands of times per day, every day, for decades. If there is not a sufficient supply of antioxidants to extinguish those sparks immediately, they begin to damage the delicate proteins that make up the lens of your eye. Those proteins slowly oxidize, they lose their structure, they begin clumping together, and over time that clumping creates the cloudy, hazy veil we know as a cataract. This is not a theory, this is a well-documented biological process that has been studied for decades. Vitamin C is the body's primary defense against this process. It acts as the first responder, neutralizing the oxidative damage before it can reach and harm the structural proteins of the lens. Without adequate vitamin C, those proteins are left exposed and vulnerable, and the slow march toward cloudiness begins. I want to share a striking piece of evidence with you. A comprehensive review of multiple high-quality clinical studies found that individuals who consistently maintained healthy levels of vitamin C intake reduced their risk of developing cataracts by approximately 70%. 70%. That is not a marginal improvement. That is the difference between spending your later years reading clearly and struggling to distinguish a person's face across the room. So why, if vitamin C is this critical, are so many people over 60 not getting enough? The answer lies in a combination of factors that I want to walk you through carefully. First, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing nutrients from food. The stomach produces less acid, the intestinal lining becomes less permeable to certain compounds, and the overall efficiency of nutrient extraction declines. This means that even if you are eating the same foods you ate 20 years ago, you are likely absorbing less vitamin C from them today than you did back then. Second, vitamin C is water-soluble. Your body cannot store it the way it stores fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, or E. Whatever vitamin C you consume must be used within hours, and any excess is simply flushed out through your urine. This means your supply must be replenished every single day. There are no reserves to fall back on. Skip vitamin C for a day or two, and your levels begin dropping almost immediately. Third, and this is something most people never consider, vitamin C is extraordinarily fragile. It begins degrading the moment it is exposed to oxygen, heat, and light. If you boil vegetables and discard the water, you have discarded most of the vitamin C. If you leave cut fruit sitting on the counter for several hours, a significant portion of its vitamin C content has already been lost. If your oranges or peppers have been sitting on a supermarket shelf for a week before you buy them, they have already lost a meaningful fraction of their original vitamin content. This is why so many people who genuinely believe they are getting enough vitamin C from their diet are actually falling short without realizing it. Now, I want you to understand that vitamin C does not work in isolation. This is a critical point, and I want you to remember it. One of the most damaging myths in nutrition is the idea that a single nutrient can solve a complex health problem on its own. Your eyes do not need just one hero, they need a coordinated team. Vitamin C works hand in hand with vitamin E, and understanding their partnership is essential to protecting your vision. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects the membranes of the light-sensitive cells in your retina. Think of vitamin E as a security seal around the outer walls of those cells, preventing free radicals from penetrating and causing structural damage. But every time vitamin E intercepts and neutralizes a free radical, it becomes depleted in the process. It sacrifices itself to protect the cell. This is where vitamin C enters the picture with one of its most remarkable abilities. Vitamin C has the capacity to regenerate vitamin E, restoring it to its full protective strength so it can continue defending the retina. Together, they form a continuous cycle of mutual support. Vitamin E shields the cell walls, and vitamin C refills the shield every time it gets used up. This is why consuming both nutrients together is one of the smartest nutritional strategies you can adopt for your eyes. And there is more. The protective system of the eye also depends on two remarkable compounds called lutein and zeaxanthin. These are natural pigments that concentrate specifically in the macula, the central region of the retina that gives us our sharpest vision. They function like internal sunglasses, filtering out the high-energy blue light that constantly bombards our eyes from digital screens and sunlight. Research has shown that consuming just 6 milligrams of lutein per day can reduce the risk of macular degeneration by up to 43%. You can find these nutrients in spinach, kale, corn, and egg yolks. And here is a tip worth remembering. Lutein and zeaxanthin are fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs them far more effectively when they are eaten with a source of healthy fat. Adding a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil to your spinach salad can increase the absorption of these compounds by up to 3 times. Another essential member of this protective team is omega-3, specifically DHA. DHA makes up approximately 60% of the retina's total structural composition. It forms the very framework of the light-detecting receptors inside your eyes. Without sufficient DHA, the communication between your eyes and your brain slows down, and your visual sharpness gradually diminishes. Omega-3 fatty acids also serve as powerful natural anti-inflammatories within the eye, helping to reduce the chronic inflammation that underlies many age-related eye conditions. They also improve the quality of your tears, which can be a tremendous relief for anyone suffering from dry eye syndrome. You can obtain omega-3 from fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or tuna, eaten about twice a week, or from high-quality fish oil supplements that have been purified through molecular distillation. For those who prefer plant-based options, algae-derived supplements provide the same DHA that fish originally obtain from seaweed. But let us return to vitamin C, because it is the foundation of this entire protective system, and I want to give you practical, actionable guidance on how to make sure you are getting enough. First, let us talk about food sources. The best dietary sources of vitamin C are not what most people think. Oranges are good, but they are far from the best. A single raw red bell pepper contains more than twice the vitamin C of a medium orange. Kiwis are exceptional, providing a dense and easily absorbed dose. Strawberries, papayas, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and guava are all outstanding sources. The key principle is variety combined with freshness. Eating 2 fresh kiwis and a cup of raw red bell pepper slices each day gives you a robust foundation of vitamin C that your eyes can rely on. Second, and this is absolutely critical, you must understand how to preserve vitamin C in the foods you eat. Because it is so sensitive to heat, water, and air, the way you prepare your food matters enormously. Raw fruits and vegetables are your best source. If you do cook vegetables that contain vitamin C, use methods that minimize exposure to water and heat. Lightly steaming is acceptable. Boiling and discarding the water is not. Cut your fruits and vegetables close to the time you plan to eat them, not hours in advance. Store them properly, in the refrigerator when possible, and protect cut surfaces from exposure to air. These seem like small details, but collectively, they can mean the difference between getting the vitamin C your eyes need and falling short. Third, I need to warn you about something that undermines vitamin C more than almost anything else, and that is refined sugar. This is not just another general health warning. There is a specific and well-understood biological mechanism at work here. Glucose, the form of sugar found in processed foods, soft drinks, and sweets, uses the exact same cellular transport channels that vitamin C relies on to enter your cells. When your bloodstream is flooded with sugar, those transport pathways become occupied by glucose, and vitamin C is effectively blocked from entering the cells that need it most, including the cells in your eyes. On top of that, excess sugar consumption triggers sharp insulin spikes that increase inflammation throughout the body and further weaken the protective capacity of your antioxidants. So if you are eating plenty of vitamin C-rich foods, but also consuming significant amounts of refined sugar, you may be undermining your own efforts without realizing it. Now, I want to help you recognize the warning signs that your body may be running low on vitamin C, because your body is remarkably good at communicating when something is wrong. We just need to learn how to listen. One of the earliest and most specific signs related to your eyes is delayed adaptation to darkness. If you walk from a brightly lit street into a dimly lit room and it takes your eyes noticeably longer than it used to adjust and make out shapes clearly, that can be a signal that your retinal cells are not regenerating efficiently due to insufficient antioxidant support. Another sign is a noticeable fading of color perception. If the world around you seems slightly dull, less vibrant, or washed out compared to how you remember it, the cells responsible for color detection may not be functioning at full capacity. There is another warning sign that is easy to spot and often causes unnecessary concern, and that is the appearance of tiny broken blood vessels or recurring red spots in the whites of your eyes, especially when there is no allergy, infection, or sleep deprivation to explain them. Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, and collagen is what gives your blood vessels their strength and flexibility. Without enough vitamin C, the tiny capillaries that supply your eyes become fragile and can rupture under minor strain. And the signals extend beyond your eyes. If you find yourself bruising easily after minor bumps, if your gums bleed when you brush your teeth, or if small cuts take longer than expected to heal, these may all be indicators that your vitamin C reserves are running low. Please do not dismiss these signs as simply being part of getting older. They are not. They are your body asking for something it needs. So let me give you a simple, practical daily routine that takes almost no time to organize and can begin strengthening your eyesight starting today. When you wake up in the morning, before you reach for your phone or start thinking about your to-do list, drink a glass of warm water with the juice of half a freshly squeezed lemon. Your stomach is empty, and your body will absorb those antioxidants with remarkable efficiency. At breakfast, include a citrus fruit or a bowl of fresh strawberries alongside a handful of almonds, which provide vitamin E to work in partnership with your vitamin C. At lunch, make your plate colorful. A generous serving of raw spinach or lightly steamed kale with slices of raw red bell pepper, finished with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil to enhance absorption. For dinner, choose a light protein like salmon, which gives you omega-3, or a boiled egg, which provides lutein from the yolk. And throughout the day, keep your intake of refined sugar as low as possible, so that the vitamin C you are consuming can actually reach the cells in your eyes. I want to leave you with one final thought. Your eyes are not like a light bulb that simply burns out one day. They are living, dynamic, incredibly sophisticated organs that respond to the care you give them. The process of vision loss is gradual, but so is the process of protection. Every single meal is an opportunity to either feed the slow decline or nourish the defense. The choice is yours, and it is never too late to start. If you found this information valuable, please share it with someone you care about, especially someone over 60 who might benefit from hearing it. And if you have not already, leave a comment and let me know where you are watching from. This is Dr. Marie Clark, wishing you clear vision, strong health, and a beautiful day. Until next time, take care of your eyes, and they will take care of you.